That. Ooh, I'm looking at the camera today and everything. This is gonna go so smoothly. I'm gonna turn on this go live thing for Instagram. Hey, hi, how you doing? Maybe people saw me on Instagram maybe a minute ago as I was getting ready. I figured, ooh, I actually have a calendar invite and everything. This is just bananas. Okay, so yeah, hi everyone, possible. Yeah, so I was just on Instagram. What, throwing a reel at you? Because I want more friends. No, those are jokes. Well, we have these things, and at the Lift and Shift Foundation, I really try to motivate, encourage, inspire, um, design, creativity. Excuse me. Uh, Big fan of that. I believe as an engineer that anybody can do the math. It takes special people to come up with ideas and solutions, and there's no monopoly on ideas. They could come from, you know, anyone. I learned in the army actually. I'm gonna crank up some sound here. In fact, oh, I'm gonna go with. Give me one quick second. Let's see. I'm gonna turn on a little bit of music. And let's see what happens. Ooh, some retro video game music. That looks like no, not Galaga. Ooh, I don't know what that is, but anyway, Star Gunner. Yep, probably Star Gunner. Yeah, okay, fair. So a little distraction in the background for me because it's boring. I like to spice things up. Like I was talking about creativity. Uh, Ideas can come from anywhere. There's no limit. So there are these challenges where I really try to help foster this problem solving skill. It was big to me as I dealt with post traumatic stress disorder and learned how to teach myself to do things again. That was the hardest part of going to school to earn an engineering degree was the fact that I didn't um, didn't have the same abilities I had when I was a kid and I went to school before joining the army. Before people try to blow you up, kill you, whatever happens. So we have these design contests, and I've got about a minute left here on Instagram Live, but I want more people designing things. I want more veterans saying, "Hey, I can do this. I have an idea, or that's a problem I have. Let me try to solve it." And I present some problems monthly. Present these ideas. Hey, design something like a cufflink. Design your own cufflinks. Design. I think this month it was put together something to. Ooh, yeah. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that turns it down a little bit. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit because I'm realizing it's loud. This is not the rave party I was expecting it to be. Dun dun dun. Turn that down just like that. But I'm done ranting. If you are on Instagram and we lose you, come to We Lift and Shift at Twitch TV for now, because that's just where things happen. And so bye to everybody on Instagram. Now it's just us, just my close friends. I'm an animal. You cannot discourage me. I'm a big dumb animal. That part is true. So back to what I was talking about. We have these design contests, and you can go to our website. If you go to the resources tab on our website, you can find this month's events. And when you get there, you'll see. Oh yeah. The design contests, workshops you can hop in on that are all online. I things you can do to learn to pick up skills for 3D modeling. We use Tinkercad because it's free and anybody can use it with a browser. So you can. I've honestly held workshops where veterans are on their phone, following along, trying to figure out how to create a coin, a challenge coin, while they're juggling back and forth between Zoom and Tinkercad browser. And then I end up printing these things. So that's pretty much how the design challenges work. Also, since November-ish, I think for gosh, well, at least half of the year. This started in the pandemic as a way to give people an outlet. I've been challenging people to come up with a fix for something in their house, come up with a design for, what was it, cufflinks was one. Design their own challenge coin was another one. That one really worked out well, and we've had a handful of people submit projects, but I really want more inclusion. So tonight I'm going to start talking more about those designs and that process and what it looks like. So I'm going to go to Tinkercad and show behind the scenes what happens afterwards. The idea is that the submissions get presented to our board, and if there are more than one submission, the board will vote on a winner, and then I work with the winner to print this prototype product basically and ship it out to them, so they get to see their idea in their hands, and hopefully come back for more. That's the fun part, the cool part. And yeah, so this month it was something to hold USB stuff together. If you're like me and you have 19 wires, because you have 47 USB ports, and I've got a camera, a microphone, 2 lights, the 3D printer, adapter for the SD card and everything. It's a lot. It's bananas. It drives me nuts. I'm kind of a neat freak, so sometimes I stress about how to over-organize that kind of stuff. And now I'm giving other people an option to do it this month. I'm done talking. I'm done. I promise. It's a lot less of me now on the screen. I'm going to go away. I'm not the focus. I'm not the goal. I'm just here. I just happen to be the pusher of ideas. So I'm going to switch views here, and I hope I get this right. But I'm going to switch views. Let's see. Oh, snap. There we go. So this is my Tinkercad view. I'm going to spend the next 20 minutes or so in here just sharing a bit of what's going on. So if you've been here before, if you caught me on here before, you probably see me design this workstation light. This was something that drives me nuts because I built a bunch of circuit boards actually about a month ago, and my eyes were going to pop out of my head when I had to do it here at home with terrible lighting and no magnifying glasses or terrible workstation. So I designed this clamp, and I don't have it with me. I do some medical research help with people, so I have all these parts. Our design team works on creating some robots and things. But here's a challenge coin from a workshop with Wounded Warrior Project. You can kind of see I made some gifts for people. Lapel pin was one of the challenges. So yes, this is where we get to the actual challenges that people have submitted projects for. And basically, you can go to our website, you can download these files, you can submit them, and share them. Submit them as an upload file on a form, and we collect them at the end of the month, and that's how the process works. So this was the very first one. It was I'm going to call it a dice tower, and I was so psyched. I actually have it right here. It's on my desk. I was so psyched by the idea. This is the first tower design. I'm going to come back to the full camera view so you can see it. This is real life. I'm using it to hold some parts. You can see some. I got a bunch of screws and things in there. It sits on my desk. I don't use it for dice, but I use it to store parts. And this was the very first challenge we asked veterans to submit projects for. It's here in my hand, so you can see it. You can see it on my screen. Excuse me. And if I open it up, you can see I actually have the first design, this tan color object there, in my hand, and I was so fired up and excited about it. I worked with the veteran to create a new dice tower for him that handles bigger dice, and you can see the red object. Actually, this cube right here in the middle is the size of a 6-sided die. And we spent I don't know, an hour or two talking through the idea that his design was good for those little tiny dice that you might see, but for full-size dice that you get in, I don't know, like a board game like Monopoly or Risk or something, his design wouldn't work. So we went through the process of redesigning a new one with a bigger opening, a bigger exit portal, a bigger tray. It's very fascinating. I've been hanging on to this for a bit because I may come back here to Tinkercad or to Twitch in the future and redesign this as a project and make it a 2-part collapsible type deal. But the goal is a lot of these designs are basically an art showcase from some of the veterans that are really starting to be encouraged about their work, their process, and all of these things. So I will be adding them to a landing page where people can download them or people can donate, and we can print out these as donation gifts, as donor gifts, because some of these are really cool, and I dig it. I think this one is probably my favorite so far. But we're going to go back. I'm going to wander back to this design, to my windows. So there was one. Where's another one in here? I don't always save all of them. Oh, here's a lapel pins. I asked people to design a lapel pin. If you've ever been in the military, it's kind of like the pin on rank we wear. These were, oh, sorry. Well, yes, this is accurate. This is actually the lapel pins that our design team designed when I told them, here's the project, here's what's going on. Our design team started in January, so this was created in March when the design team checked it out and said, wow, this is really cool, I dig this. And lo and behold, 2 of the design team members actually came up with almost the same exact design. You can see them both there. I stuck them both in this workspace. I'm not going to open the workspace. I'm just going to leave it where it is, right there. Those are some of the lapel pins. I don't see the lapel pin that I printed, the winner. Fair. Last month was this one. I asked people to design their own shoe charms. If you've ever had a pair of Crocs, those holes actually fit these crazy little, I don't even know what to call them. They're called shoe charms. Gibbets, I don't know. Definitely gonna butcher that. Yeah. Super. I'm just gonna shut up and change the subject. So I'm gonna go to tinker this. I worked with the veteran who designed this. That is absolutely not. Oh, look. That's his design. He redesigned it after that is amazing. I haven't been back in this document since, or this workspace since we worked on this together. Originally we worked on this, which was his design, and I added the structure underneath to discuss the idea, the limitations of 3D printing, and some ideas on ways to overcome those limitations, such as overhangs, you know, that kind of stuff. But yeah, so he hopped back in here, and that's super cool. I dig it. I shared this workspace with him while we were working on it, so he came back and designed new shoe charms, and I am super amazed. He was a Marine, so he managed to find the Eagle and Globe, which I think is copyrighted. Um, that's the rumor I've heard, that we can't use it because it's copyrighted, so I will not be printing these, uploading these anywhere. But yeah, that's actually super cool that he came back, and a surprise to me, but a very happy welcome surprise, because like I said, these are the things that happen. I'm very impressed that I shared this workspace, and the veteran I was working with not only wanted to help redesign it, but came back later and added new designs as he was trying to improve his little shoe charm product. So I'm very impressed with that. I'm very excited to see the interest and the you know uh, motivation. That is cool. And we're about to see that, because it's the same veteran, by chance, who I worked with just a few days ago, just actually today, on our most recent challenge, which was to design cufflinks. And I'm going to open this up, because here's his cufflink design, which is very cool. And we discussed a few issues that about the design. This is not the original design. This is him and I spent about an hour redesigning this. We ran out of time, so I'm gonna print this for him, and I'm gonna let him see how it turned out, and then we may chat about new ideas, new modifications. He may end up coming back in here and trying to recreate it, because that's basically what he did with the last project. So that's super cool, and you can see it's a handful of the same people, but what I would like to see is more people involved in the design process. This doesn't cost veterans anything. This is strictly a program where veterans can try something. They can challenge themselves, challenge each other, you know, and the cost associated with 3D printing these challenges and getting them out the door is even less than the workshops we do. But the result is tangible, because as you can see, there's a design skill that's being learned here. We were actually discussing how layers print on a 3D printer. I broke out my slicer software. We went through some of the settings in the slicer. I was able to explain how this spool shape, this it almost looks like a bobbin. I called it a tabletop while we were discussing the design. Has issues that may need to be mitigated when printing, such as designing a support structure to go around this, or altering the design to incorporate less of an overhang underneath this flat structure right there. So we chatted about those, and I gave a few options on how to do that. We also discussed the fact that some of the lettering that was engraved in here wouldn't actually show. It shows on the model, but it would not show in my slicer. And I opened things up, and I was able to show that. I was able to say, well, hey, look, this slicer is slicing based on the layer height in my printer, at which we're setting it at 0.1 something millimeters for printing parts. And if you set an engraved letter at less than 0.1, it's 1 millimeters deep. It's not going to show up on the conversion when the slicer program converts this shape into the X and Y numbers to tell the 3D printer, go here, go there, squeeze out plastic after you heat it up to this temperature. It does this in layers, and that's the kind of thing that I get to teach, and veterans get to learn through this. So it's cool. It's a cool thing to do. We're working on expanding the challenge program to include the design team, so that will happen. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm a big fan of showing off and showcasing these designs. I feel very much like it's art, and some of it kind of amazes me that people can come up with all these different ideas. I love it. It's my favorite part about being an engineer, is that none of this is math. It's all creative, and that's cool. I saw a person on Instagram call himself a creative technologist, and I really feel like that's the word for people who 3D print. That's the fancy title. Creative technologist is basically a really good description of somebody who may design these parts right here. So I'm gonna back out of this. I really only planned on being here for about a half hour tonight to discuss this, but I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna open up another browser window, and I'm gonna share where this stuff happens. So here's our crazy website. Hey, look at that. Awesome. If you go to resources, you can find this month's events. And this month is PTSD Awareness Month. It is almost over. Our friends at Drawn from Valor have some PTSD resources. And here's a video that's actually part of a media campaign about PTSD. And it's family friendly. It's a story about a squirrel who has some trouble with some things. And here you can find our contests. I probably have some typos in here. I think I wrote this, and if I did write it, I wrote it on vacation. But there's our contest. So this is the place where you would find all our contests. And if you are curious and want to learn more, here's where you could show up here and watch us on Twitch, watch me do this and explain a little bit more. I think last week I covered the actual 3D printing challenges that I had behind the scenes after hosting workshops. It was all these coins, which are being shipped out tomorrow. I have now, actually just before I got started, was working on the packaging, a nice thank you card, some little bags to put them in, and some follow-up details for all of these veterans, because that's the other thing that we do. And you can see here, this is where it happened, June 10th. We got it out, and these are the other workshops I hosted through the month. It's a slow month where we're still kind of reorganizing after COVID. We don't really have too many in-person events going on right now, but there are things being planned. And after that, yeah, this is it. That's the place where you can go to find all of our current events. I'm gonna close that. I'm gonna close that. I'm gonna come back here. And I'm done. I think I'm done early. I don't really have any. I'm not going to get too much into designing tonight. I wanted to discuss this idea that we have these contests. We have these contests for veterans, and any veteran can join. Well, if a veteran comes to us from another organization, for example, we work with a big nonprofit, and veterans join our workshop. We kind of know that they're a veteran because they've been verified through another organization. But if you come to us and sign up on our website, we have a super easy process through ID.me where you can click a couple buttons, verify that you served in the military, and after that, you are free to join us for basically anything. Anything we do. Veterans will not pay for any programs at the Lift and Shift Foundation, and I'm gonna break this away back to me because I realize I'm on a soapbox now, and I'm just gonna do this for about another minute or two. Excuse me, but that's the short version. As I give my little pitch, veterans don't pay for anything we do. Any veteran that has a service verified gets no questions. You sign up. We'll send you a link if it's a Zoom. We'll send you, before COVID happened, these were in-person invites, emails, a text, a phone call, a friend of a friend. This happens mostly in New York City. We have a really, really, really cool program. My favorite thing to do ever. It's called Battle of the Bots. I challenge veterans, their families, to come out and try to do crazy things like learn how to make a robot escape a maze in just a few hours. We have these really cool robots, and in the time it takes me to build a maze, veterans are learning how to make their robot get out of a maze. It's super cool. Nobody needs to know how to code. Nobody needs to know how to program or build anything. It's like a half day of bringing your family with you, and we break out the robots. We have a bunch of tablets. We just try to have fun, and I guess the challenge is trying to break stuff. Yeah, so I'm big on that as an engineer. I like to break things and find out why they broke. That's my favorite part. I'm not really too big on math, and I don't push math for anybody because A, it's hard, B, it's boring, and C, I went to school for 4 years and it was 90% math, and after I did it, I never really did it again. I just had computers do it, so I don't push math. In fact, when I talk about STEM and STEAM, I usually tell people in person at workshops that the M is for military service, as far as I'm concerned. That's how it applies to us. It's science, technology, engineering, art, and military service when it comes to the Lift and Shift Foundation. Because math is not sexy. No, all of my professors said that. In fact, the girls I talk to say it too. Okay, so that's it. Veterans don't pay for stuff. That includes these challenges. If we need to reach out and verify in some other way, I can do that. A dozen years. My ex-wife was actually a human resources personnel non-commissioned officer. She ran S1 for a brigade, actually for a command. Yeah, so I'm able to verify someone's service through other methods, other resources, but we do make it easy through ID.me. They're an awesome partner. I just mail them a check every month, and they give me a bunch of answers as to whether or not somebody's been verified. That's it. That's really all you have to do. And then you have to sign up. You actually have to sign up and you have to show up. That is the one thing I will close with, is if you catch this video and you are thinking, I want to do all those cool things, I will say that it's about contact time. I mentioned I spent 4 years. That's a lie, because engineering is not a 4-year degree. Everybody will tell you it is, but it's not. That was the big joke when I was in a community college in the University of Maryland system, was that it's really a 5-year program. Who are you kidding? If you can get it done in 4, you're probably cheating. But yeah, it's all about contact time, and that applies to this idea of creative technologist as well. You spend enough time in Tinkercad, you learn how to do these things. I'm migrating into Fusion, and I've probably forgotten more about SolidWorks than I care to admit. But contact time, just actually SolidWorks is a really good example. I used to use it a lot. I don't use it anymore. I don't think I could design anything in it right now without taking all day to figure out how to use it again, because it's about the contact time. But anyway, I'm past my 30-minute mark. It is 8:30. That's about how long I said I'd be here. Yeah, so if you know veterans, if you want to make this a family event for these challenges, that is excellent. That is cool. I immensely encourage family activities. Super big deal. I think after having 3 of my own kids, I enjoy the idea of building these things together. Sit down, tell your kids, hey, we can make this. Let's do it. Let's submit a challenge. It's it's no different than playing a board game at home, or piling around a TV and playing multi-screen Minecraft or any of that other stuff. So jump in, do it. But I'm gonna go because I have some stuff I actually have to 3D print, and I still have to package up all these coins. But thanks for anybody who catches this. I'm done being obnoxious. I'm gonna turn off my music, my retro video games. Oh, is that Double Dragon? I think. Nope. I don't care. Sorry. Those are the games that I played when I was a kid. Okay, I'm done. I'm out. Gonna go. I believe the term was Masalama.